What is going on, guys? My name is Tubby. Welcome to the full results and highlights for the WWE Payback pay-per-view from Chicago, Illinois. What a great pay-per-view. A lot of people are loving it on Twitter. I asked you guys, twitter.com/TubbyEmo. 16-to-1 ratio, people liked versus people that didn't like it. I myself gave it about an 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was worth the $44.99 that I paid. Thank you, Charter, for not charging extra for HD. Sheamus beat Damian Sandow in a pre-show, which, for the first time, a lot of people were surprised. They actually started off with a match instead of waiting until the end of the stream. But the first match of the night was Curtis Axel taking on Wade Barrett and The Miz. All the guys looked strong in this match. Miz, he got a little more aggressive. I like that. Wade Barrett got aggressive. In the end, though, Wade Barrett was in a figure four leg lock by The Miz. It looks like he was about to tap out. But Curtis Axel runs in, who was on the outside of the ring, pins Wade Barrett while he's still in the figure four leg lock and gets the 3 count. And Curtis Axel is your brand new Intercontinental Champion in the WWE. Some people are going to say they're pushing him too fast. I don't think so. You know, he was in WWE for a long time as Michael McGillicuddy. It's time to give him his gimmick. Especially for Father's Day, I thought it was very touching with Curtis Axel giving a tribute to Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. I'm all for it. Very good match. Easily give that an 8 or 9 out of 10. The second match was something a lot of people thought were going to be a bathroom match. It was not. AJ Lee versus Kaitlyn was probably one of the best Divas matches of the year. Dolph didn't come out with AJ. Big E did. But in the end, AJ Lee was able to win by a Black Widow. Kaitlyn, during the match at the start, beat the crap out of AJ, threw her over the Spanish announce table, was beating her, could have won at one point. AJ had a Black Widow locked in. Kaitlyn broke out of it. Kaitlyn would hit a spear on AJ, but instead of pinning her, she kind of got on top of her, looked at her, looked like she was going to start making out with her, but then picks her up and holds her like you honestly were going to kiss her, and blows her a kiss. Because of the mind games AJ's been playing with Kaitlyn, the secret admirer, everything leading up to the pay-per-view, and allowed AJ to kick out. Eventually she would go on after Kaitlyn ran into the second turnbuckle, would allow another Black Widow, and AJ Lee wins. Afterwards, Kaitlyn cried, and Layla tried to come out to console her. They showed even more backstage where even Alicia Fox and Natalya said it's okay, and she stormed off. The third match of the night, I really didn't get a chance to watch too much of, but Dean Ambrose versus Kane. Dean Ambrose defeated Kane via countout. Kane, beating the crap out of Dean Ambrose, was going out to the Spanish announce table, took off the table, looked like he was going to put him through it with a choke slam, but Dean hit a kick. The count was already at 5. He DDTs Kane on the outside, and Dean Ambrose crawled back in the ring via a 10 count. I don't know, it made Kane look strong, and, you know, so it's not a straight-up loss. Whether or not they'll continue to feud, who knows? But Dean Ambrose did retain. He's still United States champion. Now, the big surprise to me, Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler. Alberto Del Rio beat Dolph Ziggler. In the match, Alberto Del Rio using heelish tactics near the start. I didn't exactly see what went down, but Del Rio pushed Big E, and the referee only saw something and actually ejected Big E. And he was like, dude, he pushed me. Kicks him out of there. And he was constantly going after the head because of the concussion that Dolph Ziggler suffered. So constant shots, probably 15, 20 shots to the head. Every move that he hit his head, he was holding it. The doctor tried to stop the match. The referee tried to stop the match, but Dolph Ziggler kept going. Out of nowhere, when the match was seemingly over, Dolph Ziggler hit a zigzag, but he was unable to capitalize and roll over there because he hit his head. In the end, Alberto Del Rio wins with heelish tactics. Dolph Ziggler, the crowd was crazy for Dolph Ziggler. You could tell this was a wrestling town. They loved Dolph Ziggler. Alberto Del Rio got booed out of the fucking arena. Alberto Del Rio, after the match, as Dolph Ziggler obviously left, you know, holding his hand, falling, Del Rio comes back out and says, thank you to everybody. I'm champion. I do this for you. And the crowd just fucking booed him. During the match, Del Rio kept doing the headshots, and with what he did to Big E, it seems like he's turning heel. Whether or not Dolph Ziggler is turning face, we're going to have to wait and see. I think it is. I think it was a double turn setting it up. Who knows? Maybe Dolph Ziggler's concussion is worse than everybody thought. Next up was CM Punk taking on Chris Jericho in a very, very sound match. When CM Punk came out, his music played for probably 15 or 20 seconds and he didn't come out. And once he came out, though, the crowd, who was already going fucking nuts for CM Punk in his hometown, just exploded. But right before the match, it was confirmed that RVD was returning, so the crowd was already hot. And CM Punk comes out to face Chris Jericho. One point in the match, Paul Heyman climbed up on the apron or the steps, and CM Punk was like, dude, what are you doing, Paul? And it looked like it helped Chris Jericho because Chris Jericho was able to capitalize. The match itself, a lot of grappling, a lot of mat-based wrestling, actual wrestling match. I think it was WWE Creative on Twitter. The funny one was like the gimmick between CM Punk and Chris Jericho. Professional wrestling. The only thing that was a little disappointing was it was pretty slow-paced and not the mat-based wrestling. CM Punk, they brought up conditioning a lot. Maybe he didn't, condition or train properly for this match. Very slow to get up at times. He was obviously winded. Still put on one hell of a show. Numerous code breakers out of midair. He hit one. A go to sleep. Very, very good match. But in the end, Chris Jericho had a Walls of Jericho locked in after CM Punk went for a Hurricane Rana. Was reversed by Jericho. CM Punk did everything he could to break out. He hit him. Finally got up and he went into crazy mode and started beating down Chris Jericho to the back of the head, back of the neck. Hit a GTS. He goes into the turnbuckle, comes right back out. CM Punk goes, ah! And hits him with another go to sleep. CM Punk wins, beats Chris Jericho. No reason for Chris Jericho to win here. CM Punk getting a victory. He had mutton chops. He looked like Wolverine, but overall it was a very, very good match. Probably match of the year candidate so far. And then the Shield versus Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. Once again, this is a match I really didn't get to see. I was tweeting, YouTubing, things like that, unfortunately. But in the end, the Shield was able to retain. Daniel Bryan took the pinfall after Seth Rollins did a bunch of moves, knee to the back of the head, and the Shield had retained. And the last match of the night, John Cena versus Ryback in a 3 Stages of Hell match. This match only had about 22 minutes, so I didn't think it was going to be super epic. The first match was a Lumberjack match. Very nice to see a lot of the talent that is never shown. Yoshitatsu, JTG, all the guys that were out there, Zack Ryder. The heels were beating up John Cena. The faces were beating up Ryback, things like that. A really good highlight was all the Lumberjacks were in one point beating down the guys. Cena rolled back in the ring and dives from the top rope in like a big Superman dive. Absolutely got air. It was awesome. Knocked down the whole pile. But in the end of the Lumberjack match, Cena was going for an attitude adjustment. Ryback reversed it, hit a shell shock. 1, 2, 3. And was able to win. Personally, I would have gave John Cena the win in the Lumberjack and Ryback the tables match. But the tables match, a lot of people said they went to house shows. It's exactly how it went down. Ryback had the upper hand, was looking to beat Cena the whole time. He smashed stairs through 2 tables when they missed. But in the end, John Cena picks up Ryback with an attitude adjustment after a reversal through a table. Then comes time for the ambulance match. Before it can officially start, Ryback went out and beat the living hell out of the crowd. The crowd was dead. He beat him down, put him through the announce table, the main announce table. They went up to the top of the stage where there was the cheapest ambulance I've ever seen. Cena was against the door. Ryback goes to punch him. Cena moves. Sugar glass. He breaks the window out. You could tell in the match. The door got broken off when Cena speared Ryback. The bumper got pulled off by Ryback, used it as a weapon. John Cena took off the lights. No, it was John Cena who put Ryback through the windshield. In the end, though, attitude adjustment on top of the ambulance, through the ambulance roof, and John Cena retains the WWE title. Still think Ryback looked very good in the match. It doesn't hurt him, and John Cena still retains. So that's the full results and highlights. I hope you guys enjoyed the pay-per-view. I really did. I would give it an 8 out of 10. Easily one of the better pay-per-views of the year, although I really did like Extreme Rules. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And until next time, we will see you all later.